morning all of my friends. Today we are going to learn a very important topic in BHMS university exams, that is trio of delirium. So the trio of delirium remedy, so we are going to discuss. First of all, you should know the trio of delirium means Nash Trio of Delirium. That is nothing but the belladonna, stramonium and hyoscyamus. These three medicines are very important for deliriums. So you should first write the full name of these three medicines. What are the trio of delirium? Next you should contract and differentiate these three medicines. Let's see the differentiation of these three medicines. Okay. First, in belladonna, where we can see the mania, which type of mania. First, in belladonna, the mania is violent and wild mania is seen in belladonna. In the case of stramonium, where we can see the religious mania. And in hyoscyamus, here we can see the lascivious mania. Actually, what is the meaning of mania? You should know. Mania is the nothing but it is a excited or exaggerated state of minds. Sometimes we see that some child violently behave for any things or any others to get any other things. Okay, so here the mania is violent in belladonna. Religious mania, we can see here and there some peoples are very exaggerated their behaviors, and their mind is very exaggerated about the religious aspect or religious matters. So in the case of stramonium, here you can see this type of mania. In hyoscyamus, lascivious mania. Lascivious means it is nothing but they are thinking always some sexual things, sexual facts. So this type of mania where you can see in hyoscyamus. So next we see that which type of mania and how they behave. Okay, then next point, you should skip these points. So not skip, but you after this mania you should write this point. Okay, then you write this point so you can correlate easily. So let's see, in belladonna violent mania is seen, and second point is violent deliriums with disposition to bite, spit, strike and tear things. So in belladonna, which mania is violent and the patients always violent delirium with disposition to bite. The patients always bite, spite, strike and tear things of the nearby people, nurses, etc, etc. Okay. In stramonium, where we can see the patients always desire to escape. It is the key symptoms where it is taken from the Allen's keynotes. It's desire to escape and always praying. As it is religious mania is marked, patient always praying, beseeching and entreating. Okay, and here one thing is very important, that is loquacious. Patients always try to talk, continuous talk. Okay, which type of talk? Incessant and incoherent talking and laughings. They always try to talks to others and laughings alone. Okay, this is the key symptoms of stramoniums. And hyoscyamus, here we can see the jealousy and suspicion patients who run through the sickness. Here also the escape is marked through sickness. Okay, and immediately will not be covered, kicks off the clothes, exposes the person, lies naked in bed and chatters. What does it mean? As it is the lascivious mania marked, so patients desperately show their sexual organs to others, always try to naked and lie in the beds. This type of persons, they always thinking that some bad pictures in their minds, and they always even they try to imagine the bad pictures that's posted on the walls, etc. So this type of sexual things is going on in their minds, and here the lascivious mania is marked. So the next point, the pathology. If we see the pathology, belladonna, stramonium, hyoscyamus, pathology is congestions. See the next point, belladonna, here the congestion is marked, but here the cerebral congestion is constant. Okay, but in stramonium, here the congestion also marks, but never approaching true inflammation. Okay, not true inflammations, and also congestion is marked with violence. And hyoscyamus, it is a non-inflammatory cerebral excitement. Okay, here the inflammation not marked in hyoscyamus. So this is the pathology of these three medicines. Then we go for the what is the other symptoms. As it congestions and inflammations in this medicine is marked, so we see the what are the features of these persons. Okay, so first in belladonna, the redness with intense burning of face and dilated pupil. We know this is the key symptoms of belladonna. At its congestion is marked, so throbbing carotid and dilated pupils and burning face, it is marked. Redness also marked in belladonna. In stramonium, here also red face but not burning, because here never approaching true inflammation. Here the not true inflammation is occur. Okay, that's why the no burning sensation is there. So in hyoscyamus, in the case of hyoscyamus, we can see the patient, as it is non-inflammatory cerebral excitement, only that is the abnormal electrical signal of brain. So as it is abnormal electrical signal of the brain or cerebral excitement, or you can see the patient's face is pale and sunken. Okay. Then we see that spasms, which type of spasms since belladonna. In belladonna and stramonium, here is a tonic spasms is there. Okay, in case of hyoscyamus, here is clonic spasms is there. What is the meaning of tonic and clonic? Tonic is nothing but it is a type of muscle spasm, so you can see continuous and prolonged muscle contractions. Okay, for tonic. And clonic is nothing but the here also it is type of muscle spasms where the muscle contract and relax in a periodical manner. Okay, so these are the reference, and one of the most key important points in belladonna, we can see the spasms without consciousness. Okay, and in stramonium with consciousness and HMS without consciousness. So belladonna and HMS, the spasms occur without consciousness, and in stramonium with consciousness. Okay, and another medicine also, the spasms with consciousness, that is nothing but the Nax vomica. Nax vomica and stramoniums, the spasms is occurring with consciousness. Okay. So next is choric movements. This is also one type of muscular movements, where you can see tonic movement is there in belladonna. Stramonium, here is tonic movement. In hyosomus, angular movements, that is aggregated by eating. Okay, angular movements, all the muscle spasms and body organ movement is angular. Okay, and it is aggregated by eating. So next point is epilepsy. Epilepsy, which type of epilepsy seen in belladonna? During epilepsy, the spasms of larynx and clutchings of throat during fit. Okay. In the case of stramonium epilepsy, during epilepsy, the recess sardonicus and a quick thrusting of the head to right. And in HMS, the epilepsy, during epilepsy, the sparks before the eyes growing. In epilepsy, then next is epilepsy in belladonna. During epilepsy, the spasms of larynx and clutchings of throat during fit. Actually, what is epilepsy? Epilepsy is nothing but it is a neurological conditions of the brains. Okay, during epilepsy, one is important feature is convulsion is occur. Convulsion nothing but is the spasms of the muscles. Okay, contractions of the muscles. So in epilepsy, where you can see the in belladonna, spasms of larynx and clutching of throat during fit. Okay, for the patients. In stramonium, what patients do? Patients during epilepsy, recess sardonicus. What do you mean by recess sardonicus? Recess sardonicus nothing but it is the one type of facial expression due to the twitching of facial muscles. Okay, it's also one called sardonic smiles due to the twitching of the facial muscles, or mocking smile. Okay, and also quick thrustings of the head to right. Patients always during epilepsy, he quick thrusting of the head to right. These two features is very important for stramonium. In HMS, during epilepsy, the sparks before the eyes. Actually, the epilepsy comes with the facial muscle twitching. Okay, the sparks before the eyes and growing hungers. Growing hungers means it's one type of deep burning hunger. Okay, intense hunger during the fit. Purple face, eyes projecting, shrieks, grinding teeth, and enuresis followed by the sopor and snoring. Patients during the epilepsy always try to projecting things, shrieks, grinding teeth, and enuresis followed by the sopor and smile. After that, after the epileptic spasms or epileptic convulsions, the patients going to deep sleep and snorings, try to snore. So these are the symptoms of the epilepsy in these three medicines. Next, we're going to see what is the desire and aversions. Especially in belladonna patients, he always desires light and company is desirables. And in stramonium also, the patients desires light and company. And one of the key symptoms of stramonium is fear of darkness is marked in stramonium. And in HMS, aversion of light and company. Okay, full aversion of light and company in HMS. And during fever stage, what happens in the, especially delirium comes on fever stage. So we can see in fever stage of these three medicines. So fever stage, high grade fever with red and hot with throbbing of that. We already told that. And in stramonium, what's happened? Especially red face but cold body, because here the not true inflammation is marked. And in HMS, the fever is low grade fever and dust grade, because here no inflammation is occurring. Okay, these are the fever stage. And if you want to write the modality, you can write, but it's not need. So this is enough for your university exam. So you should remind these three. So you should remember these points and you should write in examination halls. So thank you. And to get these notes with HD quality, you can follow, or I will put the link in descriptions. You must check and download the HD quality video in one page. Okay, so thank you all of you. See you again on next video. Okay.